Hey there guys, and welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for being here as always. So we have a bit of a risque story to talk about here. So Edgar Wright is eyed to direct Sydney Sweeney's Barbarella remake with a superhero experienced writer also on board. So it looks like this project is coming together, and it looks like Sydney Sweeney is going to be obviously the lead actress on this. And there's a lot of people that love Sydney Sweeney. She's a very hot upcoming actress. Hot meaning that, like, you know, she's doing a lot of projects, you know, she's really building her talent, honing her craft, becoming a great actress, and the woman is just absolutely beautiful to look at. Let's not be coy about it. So her being in this movie is going to drive a lot of people to definitely be interested in what this project has to offer. So guys, this article comes to us from comicflicknews.com. So, the critical and commercial success of films like Anyone But You and Immaculate has paved the way for Sydney Sweeney to transition smoothly from Madam Web to her upcoming Barbarella remake at Sony Pictures. So, for those of you who aren't sure what Barbarella is, it's kind of like this old sci-fi classic. I believe it came out in the 60s. It has like erotic themes. It's very risque kind of overtones to it. You know, naked lady, busty kind of temptress, blonde, busty temptress, if you like. I'm not sure how else to explain it, but yeah, guys, if you haven't seen the original Barbarella, do go and check it out. By today's standards, it's kind of a trashy movie. Trashy in terms of not being very good, and trashy in terms of its kind of erotic, risque kind of tones as well. But yeah, it's kind of funny. It's kind of lackluster in my opinion, but at the same time, it's kind of funny. And one of those classical sci-fi kind of movies that came out in the 60s, you know, when that was kind of all the rage. So according to Deadline, via the sci-fi and fantasy gazette.com, Edgar Wright, known for Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, awesome movie. Last Night in Soho, again, that was an awesome movie, is officially in talks to direct. Jane Goldman, renowned for her work on Kick-Ass, absolutely love the first Kick-Ass, X-Men First Class, one of the best comic book movies ever made in my opinion, and The Kingsman Secret Service, that wasn't so well received, along with her daughter Honey, are being considered to pen the screenplay. If negotiations go well, Jane and Honey will co-write the script with Edgar Wright. So yeah, this is great. Having Edgar Wright, I think he's a great director. Having him on board for this project is great. But I just wonder what they're going to do with it, because this movie is so old-fashioned. It's so campy in its tone. If you updated it for today's modern audiences, I'm not sure what you could do with this without offending the kind of the woke mob coming after you. And, you know, it's treating women like meat, and, you know, like risque and clad women, naked women, it's not acceptable in today's society. So, you know, it's going to get a lot of backlash, but at the same time, you know, Sydney Sweeney starring in it is going to get a lot of people interested for all the right reasons. So we have a picture here. Obviously, this is Jane Fonda, the original actress from the original Barbarella movie. And then we have Sydney Sweeney, obviously, here on the right. And you can see just the comparison look between the two actresses here. You know, they actually really do look alike in a lot of ways. Long blonde hair, you know, their kind of slim figure, you know, and all that kind of stuff. I'm not going to go any further because you know, we could go into further description, but I'm not going to do that. But yeah, you can see how similar they look. Sydney Sweeney's perfect. She's been honing her craft. She's becoming a great actress. I don't think she's quite there yet, but given a few more years, I think that she's going to be a really good actress, and one to definitely follow as her career kind of goes on an upward trajectory. And I think she could do something very interesting with this character in this movie. What that is, or what that's going to look like, I have no idea. But I'm still color me interested for sure. So Sweeney, who will portray Barbarella, is one of Hollywood's busiest rising stars. Yeah, she seems to be all over the place. But she does run the risk of, like, falling into the Pedro Pascal and Dwayne The Rock Johnson kind of hole where they're oversaturated. They're kind of in every single TV show and movie and all over the place, and people begin to get a bit sick and tired of seeing the same actor in the same movies over and over. It becomes oversaturated, and I hope that doesn't happen to Sydney Sweeney, her being just oversaturated in everything. But again, we'll have to see how that plays out. So, Wright, currently preparing for the Running Man reboot, starring Sweeney, Anyone But You co-star Glenn Powell, suggests the project is still some time away from hitting theatres. So, it doesn't look like we're going to get it anytime soon, maybe possibly within the next 5 years or so. So, Wright has been eyeing for the project for some time, the trade explains, having met with Sweeney shortly after the project was announced, but committing only recently to develop it as a potential directing venture. So, reflecting on the project back in March, Sweeney shared her excitement. So, Sydney Sweeney went on to say this about the Barbarella remake. I mean, Barbarella is just such a fun character to explore. She really just embraces her femininity and her sexuality, and I love that. She uses sex as a weapon. Guys, if you haven't seen the actual original Barbarella, that tells you everything you need to know right there. She uses sex as a weapon. That's all you kind of need to know, really. And I think it's such an interesting way into the sci-fi world. I've always wanted to do sci-fi, so we'll see what happens. And obviously, Sydney Sweeney here, and on the right, you can see the image of Barbarella here. I'll blow it up so we get a full look at this image. You can see it's kind of got this really classic 50s, 60s sci-fi overtones. Back then, you know, everything was sci-fi, aliens and the end of the world and robots and all of that kind of classic sci-fi stuff that you think about fondly when it comes to the kind of infancy of, you know, theaters and movie productions back in the 50s and 60s. And this is exactly right on point with that kind of tone of campiness and the sci-fi-ness. But can they update it? Can they make it great? Can they do something inventive and creative and fresh with it? I'm not really sure. But as I said, if, you know, the woke mob is going to come after this movie hard, you just know, you know, they're going to say that, you know, it's putting women in a bad light, you know, and all this kind of stuff. You just know this is going to happen. But that's neither here nor there. So, Barbarella, a fictional character created by French comic book writer Jean-Claude Forest, first appeared in the French comic Barbarella, serialized in V Magazine in 1962, before being published as a graphic novel. As a futurist space adventure and interstellar agent from the 41st century, Barbarella navigates various planets, encountering strange beings and situations, often depicted in a highly sexualized and psychedelic manner. Yeah, it's just risque, kind of all over the place, erotic overtones, like I've already said, guys. Do go back and check out the original Barbarella movie, if that's your kind of thing. That kind of campy, erotic, kind of sci-fi misadventure, if you like. It is kind of fun, but yeah, it's kind of trashy and campy at the same time, as I've already said. So the character gained international fame with the 1968 film. So it did come out in the 60s, not the 50s. I couldn't remember if it was 50s or 60s. Same sort of time period, isn't it, really? Adaptation directed by Roger Vadim. Starred Jane Fonda in the titular role. Although not a huge success upon release, the movie has since become a cult classic, celebrated for its campy style, erotic themes, and iconic visuals. Iconic visuals, I'll just leave it at that, but you can guess what that means. So let's just leave that there. But yeah, obviously we got the Barbarella trailer here, guys. We've been playing parts of the Barbarella trailer as we've been talking about the movie and kind of what's going on with it. And you can kind of by now get a kind of a taste of what this movie is about and what it looks like. So if it does interest you, go and check out the whole movie for yourselves, guys. Are you excited about a Barbarella remake? Let us know in the comment section below. I'm sure there's a lot of you guys who are watching who have never even heard of this project. I mean, it came out in the 60s, late 60s, and I'm sure there's a whole generation of people that have never even heard of this. I mean, because it's so old-fashioned and so kind of niche in that old sci-fi campy style. But guys, that's kind of where we are. So it looks like Edgar Wright is going to potentially be attached to this project with Sydney Sweeney, one of the hottest kind of upcoming actresses in Hollywood, going to be in the titular role. And it looks like they've got their writers as well, which is a mother and daughter kind of combo who have worked on X-Men First Class, The Kingsman, and the Kick-Ass movie, which is, I think, is really exciting to have all of that kind of combination in that recipe. We could be in for a surprise, and it could end up being something great. But guys, jump into the comment section. Let me know what you think about this. Is it something you're interested in watching? A Barbarella remake with Sydney Sweeney? Is it something that sounds good? Do you think it sounds trashy? Whatever your thoughts are, pop them in the comment section. Can't wait to see what you have to say about this, guys. So we have some DC news to jump into. Don't get me wrong, this story is a bit of a stretch. You know, as fans, sometimes we take a nugget of information that may not correlate to something else, but we make this huge kind of leap as to what this could mean or what this could mean. This is going to be one of those stories. But let's jump in anyway, because even if this is true, if it's not true, I find this kind of potential casting fascinating. So this comes to us from comicflicknews.com. So DCU news, Shazam star hints at possible Nightwing role. So one of my all-time favorite characters in DC has been Nightwing, and I've wanted a Nightwing movie for absolute years. And to have someone potentially kind of hinting at playing that role is really exciting for myself. And I know a lot of you guys out there would probably be excited about this as well. But like I said, it's one of those stories that's kind of a bit of a stretch. So don't get me wrong. I'm not saying this is confirmed by any means. So in a recent post on X, Shazam star Asher Angel teased fans with a gif of Nightwing, sparking speculation that he might be transitioning from Billy Batson to the iconic DC hero in the DC Universe franchise. Angel has previously expressed his hope that DC Studios co-president and co-CEO James Gunn would integrate Shazam into the broader DCU. So despite the intriguing hint, James Gunn has not yet announced any plans involving Nightwing or Shazam, so fans should remain cautiously optimistic. Having said that, he has said that in the Batman Brave and the Bold, I believe he said that movie is going to feature the Bat family, and obviously one of the main characters within the Bat family is going to be Nightwing. So he didn't directly say Nightwing would be in the movie, but I would assume under the Bat family umbrella that Nightwing would be in there to some degree. It's going to be out there. It is going to be in that timeline within the Batman kind of mythos where Nightwing is fully established at that point, I would assume. So Nightwing is there, but is he going to be featured in the movie? And could this potential picture that Asher Angel put up, could this be hinting towards a potential casting? I'm not really sure. Like I said, it's a rather big stretch, but it's fun to think about because the actor is pretty good. I enjoyed him in the Shazam franchise. I thought he did a fantastic job, and he looks the part of a Nightwing character, I would say. So fans should remain cautiously optimistic, reflecting on Shazam: Fury of the Gods' underwhelming performance. Angel remarked the challenges of the superhero genre and expressed his frustration with the notion of the superhero fatigue. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people say that the superhero fatigue is a myth. It's just the fact that we've been getting bad written movies. That's the only problem. It's not actual people being bored of superhero movies. It's people being bored of mediocre quality. And I think Deadpool and Wolverine will go a long way to showing the fact that superhero fatigue isn't a thing. That, if you do put out a good quality movie with superheroes, people will turn up and they will watch it. And we'll have to see how that turns out. But guys, back to the story anyway. So Asher Angel here, obviously he played Billy Batson in the Shazam movies. Like I said, the guy did a fantastic job. Absolutely loved him. He's a great upcoming actor. And he put out this gif here of Nightwing. So does this mean anything? Is this hinting towards something? Is it the fact that he just liked this gif? Was he drunk and just decided to put this up? I mean, there could be absolutely infinite amount of reasons as to why he posted this image, but it's got a lot of people speculating, a lot of fan speculation. As I said, we do these massive stretches where something happens and we kind of, stretch it to its conclusion, and sometimes we get it right, sometimes we don't, but it's fun to think about anyway. So he went on to say this: "I don't believe in that stuff," Angel continued. "I think whatever DC or Marvel puts out there is going to resonate, but if it resonates, it resonates. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I think a lot of the time people put so much pressure on Marvel and DC in the way that every movie has to be amazing. That's because Marvel set the standard. They put out like 15 movies in a row over like 10 years where every movie was an absolute banger, and they set themselves up for that level of quality. So then when the quality starts declining, that's when people notice it. What goes up must come down, the old idiom kind of thing. So it's a hard genre for sure, and I'm happy I had the opportunity to be involved in that world. It was wish fulfillment because I always wanted to be a superhero when I was a kid. I mean, which kid growing up didn't want to be a superhero? Being featured in one of these movies would be a lifelong dream for pretty much any person out there. We all dreamed of being a superhero when we was a kid. And yeah, absolutely wish fulfillment, like he said. So Asher Angel wouldn't want to take over Shazam without Zachary Levi. So he went on to say this: "Ironically, in the same interview, Asher professed that he'd always be open to going back and playing Billy Batson, going on to further note, I'd never want to take Shazam actor Zachary Levi's place because we're in this together. If there are any other characters out there in the future, I'd also be open to that. I'm pretty open. There's a time and a place, and it will happen." Yeah, this kid is an upcoming actor. He's terrific. He's been in some great projects, but I think the guy just looks the part of a Nightwing character. He really does. I think, he would absolutely nail this character, but it all depends on the tone of the character. Is Nightwing actually going to appear, for number one? And it depends on the tone, the kind of age that they're looking at as well. So there's so many different factors. But I'm really hoping that this goes a long way. This hint is a potential casting, because I think this guy would be a great choice. He definitely would. So interestingly, Freddie Freeman actor Jake Dylan Grazer recently asserted that Black Adam is key to Shazam's return. Grazer speculated that if Shazam 3 happens, it's not going to happen. We're in the DCU now. It's a complete rebooted DC universe. They're not going to be dragging any of the old DCU continuity over, I don't think. Obviously, there are some characters that are coming across, but that's very few and far between. Most of the characters and universe has been rebooted. I don't think we're going to get Zachary Levi's Shazam coming over. I could be wrong about that. Nothing's been said about it, concrete, but I don't see Zachary Levi's Shazam coming over, especially after the lackluster box office of the last movie as well. It will likely stem from a Black Adam thing, with the Man in Black inviting Shazam into that world. Again, having Black Adam coming over from that universe, which is obviously played by The Rock. The Rock is done with Black Adam now, so I don't see that happening. Regarding Nightwing, director Chris McKay discussed Batman's influence on Dick Grayson's planned film back in 2021. He noted that the movie would feel like picking up the Nightwing comic. You're not guaranteed Batman was going to show up, but he could, and other characters could too, but you're dealing with Nightwing, and that's what I like about it. For those interested, Shazam and Shazam Fury of the Gods are available to stream on Max. I think, personally, if I was in charge of a Nightwing movie, I would have Batman show up, but I wouldn't have him show up in a capacity that's going to overshadow Nightwing. So I would have him show up, he would be there for a scene, maybe for 5 or 10 minutes. You know, they would kind of do a fight scene where they're kind of together, maybe doing a, you know, fighting a common foe or something, and then Batman kind of takes off. But I wouldn't have Batman there for any extended period of time, because Batman is such a big character in that mythos. He would overshadow Nightwing instantly. And yeah, so you would have to have him there, but it would have to be in a limited capacity. But definitely it would add to the excitement of a Nightwing project for sure. So guys, that's kind of where we are. So it's just kind of this small GIF here that Asher Angel put out. Do you think this means anything? Do you think it's just a GIF that potentially he liked? Do you think maybe he was drunk and just decided to do it because he liked the picture? You know, like I said, there's infinite amount of reasons as to why he could have posted this up. A potential casting could be one of them. We really don't know. As fans, we like to speculate and kind of, you know, really stretch this credible information sometimes. But that's fun of, you know, speculating and being a fan, you know, of the movies. So guys, I throw it off to you. I'd love to hear what you have to say about this. Is it potential casting or does it mean nothing? Whatever your thoughts are, please pop them in the comment section. Can't wait to see what you have to say about this as always. So from time to time, we also like to jump into some gaming news here, as well as the movie news that we talk about. And it looks like a brand new Assassin's Creed game set in feudal Japan is coming out soon. Could not be more excited. I love the Assassin's Creed franchise of games. I think they're so fun. The mythos and the lore and everything going on behind the Brotherhood of Assassins. Such an epic story. So let's dive into this and let's see what we can learn about this new Assassin's Creed codename Red, or Assassin's Creed Shadows as it's now being called. So this article comes to us from Comic Flick News. Ahead of reveal, rumors leak, Assassin's Creed Shadows, release date and DLC. So we've got plenty of information that's been data mined from different people about what's going on with this game at launch and when we can expect to get our hands on this game as well. So fresh from Ubisoft, a leaked product blurb hints at the release date of Assassin's Creed Shadows set for November 15th. Alongside this revelation, data miners have uncovered additional pricing and DLC details for the highly anticipated game ahead of its official world premiere announcement. So, the unveiling of the next installment official title, Assassin's Creed Shadows, comes from Ubisoft on May 13th. Alongside this announcement, the company teased the premiere of the game's cinematic trailer, scheduled for May 15th at noon Eastern Time. Multiple YouTube premiere pages for the trailer are already live, building anticipation among fans. So it looks like we're going to get the cinematic trailer coming out tomorrow. I've never really understood these cinematic trailers when it comes to games because they're kind of fully CG trailers and they don't represent anything to do with the gameplay. They don't give you a look at what the game looks like or any of the mechanics. It's kind of just showing you an animated feature film that really has nothing to do with the game whatsoever. I mean, it shows you the tone and the setting and some of the characters, but it doesn't show you the gameplay mechanics, the actual graphics, or what the game looks like. So in some ways, I've never really understood those kind of CG trailers, but I know a lot of people enjoy them, so. Ubisoft accidentally leaks another game's release date. So fans were quick to notice that Ubisoft's Italy video description inadvertently disclosed the apparent release date of November 15th for Assassin's Creed Shadows. Although the company swiftly removed this premature reveal, screenshots of the blunder had already circulated on social media. Interestingly, this mirrors the incident that led to the online leak of Star Wars Outlaws release date early in April. So, yeah, there's companies just leaking their own reveal dates, which is quite funny. But I mean, when you've got all these social media accounts and you're trying to kind of get all the reveals ready, you know, you're trying to put out all the marketing, get all your marketing ready, there's obviously going to be a slip up from time to time about all these different social media accounts. Someone's accidentally going to post something they weren't supposed to. Keeping a lid and control over all this information on the marketing that you're trying to get ready. Obviously there's going to be a slip up from time to time and it happens, but it's great for us because we get the reveal date, which is cool. So if the redacted blurb proves accurate, Assassin's Creed Shadows will mark the first new mainline entry in the franchise to launch on November 15th, since Assassin's Creed Revelations did so back in 2011. So we have this image here, this kind of Twitter post. Assassin's Creed Shadows is releasing on November 15th, 2024. It's truly the year of the shadow. And as you can see, we've got this image here that someone took, and it kind of gives the reveal date away, which is kind of cool. Like I said, it's always good to get the reveal date ahead of time to know when this game's coming out, so my wallet can recover from the open surgery of losing more money out of the wallet. Assassin's Creed Shadows Season Pass rumored to be $40. Wow. Yeah, it's going to be another one of those games that's going to try and nickel and dime you for all you've got, so be careful, guys. In another leak preceding Ubisoft's May 13th announcement, data miner Frax, aka Frax R6, spilled the beans on the game's official title hours ahead of schedule. Not stopping there, Frax also provided insights into Assassin's Creed Shadows' purported DLC plan, claiming that the open world RPG will debut alongside a €40 or £40 season pass. So if you're in the US, it's going to cost you $40. If you're in Europe, it's going to be €40. And if you're here in the UK, it's going to be £40 for the season pass. Not for the actual game, for the season pass. So according to Frax, the season pass will feature a quest named Origami Killer, which they believe will be available from day one. This aligns with Ubisoft's tradition of including launch day bonus missions in the new Assassin's Creed entries, as evidenced by the 40 Thieves quest in Assassin's Creed Mirage. So as you can see here, we have a Twitter post which breaks down the cost of the game and the currencies within the game. So from Frax, the data miner who mined all this data about the game and the currencies, Assassin's Creed Shadow prices. So the season pass, €40. Welcome pack, which gives you 4,200 Helix. Helix is going to be the in-game currency. That's going to be $35. Expansion 1 is $25. Expansion 2 is $25. And then we have the currency pack, so 500 all the way up to 6,600. $5, €5, €10, €10, €20, €35, and then 5, whatever this is at the bottom. Obviously didn't get a price one for this one, but I'm assuming it's going to be 50. That would make sense, the logical progression here of how much it costs. So you've got the season pass, you've got the welcome pack, you've got the expansions, you've got the in-game currency. You're probably going to have these kind of limited edition copies that you can get, you know, the what do they call them, like the like the hardcore copies or the limited editions, that come with different things, and you get the game 3 days earlier and all this kind of stuff that they do to try and nickel and dime players. But yeah, when I look at this, it literally makes my brain implode. Games in the modern era, they cost so much money. It's ridiculous. It really is. With all these different editions and the welcome packs and the season passes and the in-game currency, yeah, it's just, I don't even know what to say about it, guys. It just kind of blows my mind. It really does. How expensive games come to be, So, from this Reddit post here, Assassin's Creed Shadow Season Pass and Ultimate Edition. Season Pass will cost $40 and will give you access to a questline called Origami Killer, along with the DLC that's released later, I would assume. I don't know how much of the Ultimate Edition, other than that it gives you 5 skill points. So you get the Ultimate Edition, it gives you an extra 5 skill points. Pre-order is something called Thrown to the Dogs. Whether it gives you a quest or some items, I do not know, but I think it gives you some quest lines. So again, if you pre-order the game and you get a certain edition, you get extra quests and stuff like this. That's been a very hot button topic. With the Star Wars Outlaws game, there was a special edition of the game that you would order that would give you access to a quest that you couldn't get for other editions of the games, and people were very, very upset about that content being locked off. If you don't buy the special edition of the game, then your content is going to be locked off unless you give them more money. Fuck you, give me more money, otherwise we're going to start locking off missions. I mean, it's really scummy kind of marketing tactics, and this kind of thing really kind of boils my blood, being a gamer. So in addition to the launch day bonus mission, Origami Killer, Frax's leaks suggest that Assassin's Creed Shadows Season Pass will include 2 expansions slated for post-release. Each expansion is expected to be available individually for $25. So Frax also revealed details about a pre-order bonus named Thrown to the Dogs. However, the specific of this bonus remains unclear, leaving the fans to speculate whether it is another exclusive mission or perhaps an item bundle. So yeah, there's exclusive content called Thrown to the Dogs, but we don't know if it's a mission or if it's like exclusive content in terms of like items, weapons, stuff like that. So we don't know about that yet. When it comes to these prices for DLCs, I don't mind if you're getting quality for what you're paying for. If the DLC is rich and expansive and it's big and it adds a lot of lore to the game, then I don't see a problem with it. But when you pay $25 and you get like 2 extra weapons and you get a side quest, something ridiculous that isn't worth the money, then yeah, that's where it gets annoying. So, completing the information dump, Frax provided a powerful list. Frax provided a purported list of the in-game currency purchases for Assassin's Creed Shadows, ranging from 500 to 6,600 Helix packs. Microtransactions have been a hotly debated topic among Assassin's Creed fans, and while Ubisoft has never hinted at discontinuing them, the latest leak adds fuel to the ongoing controversy. Yeah, I mean, this controversy has been going on for years now about these microtransactions and, in-game currencies and all this sort of stuff, and it's ridiculous, and, it's just kind of crazy that it's just there to kind of nickel and dime players as much as possible. They have all this kind of background informational logs on all their players. How much time do you spend in the game? What weapons do you use? How they want to manipulate you into getting more money out of you. You can never just buy a game and just play it without all these microtransactions being all over the place. And unfortunately, it's here to stay, and I don't think we're going to get rid of it anytime soon. But other than that, I don't know if this game's going to be any good or not. We'll have to wait and see until the first gameplay footage comes out. But tomorrow is the official Cinematic World premiere trailer, guys. So keep your eyes on that if you're interested in this game. And I'm sure it'll be a great CGI trailer. But again, the CGI trailer is not going to give us any gameplay mechanics. It's not going to show us the actual game, unless they have a little bit of in-game footage within the trailer. But from here, it sounds Cinematic World trailer. It sounds like it's going to be a CGI trailer. So don't expect a real look at the game anytime soon. But guys, let me know what you think about this. Are you interested in a Assassin's Creed game set in the feudal world of Japan? Do you think this sounds good? Have you kind of fallen off of Assassin's Creed? Whatever your thoughts are, pop them down in the comment section. Can't wait to see what you have to say about this, as always, guys. And if you do enjoy my content, hit that like and subscribe. It goes a long way to helping me and my content. And I will see you in the next one.